light, because when I saw the footage, it's like a mosquito flying over, flying in your room. I cannot see it generating such enormous vibration as to bring down the structure. But
so you're implying that you think the distance of the aircraft from the land to the sky where it is so far out you don't see any remote chance of its vibration or any activity that could have caused the...
It is not a matter of distance. It is a matter of the effect. Vibrations, I mean, when a vehicle moves on the road, you will feel it. It's not much as if the distance is so much that it will cause such a thing. I don't want to go into spiritual realms because we all are aware of the wall of Jericho and all of those things. But even then, if people move around like in the wall of Jericho in unison, they create vibrations which really could coincide with the natural frequency of such an object. That's the reason why military people, when crossing bridges, they have to do it in a certain pattern so that they do not create such vibration that will coincide with the natural frequency of that object. Where that happens, yes, you could have collapses due to the vibration effect on such buildings or on such structures. But it's a bit remote in this particular case. The signs are not there. We could not see them. Even if it's an unidentified flying object, perhaps we may not even see it. So it's difficult for me to say spiritually this is what is happening. We would rather deal with the physical things we can identify, we can scientifically prove, that we can see.
Okay, let's put the same question to Dari then. Do you think there's any chance that this could have been engineered, for want of a better word, by some object or flying object, or by some aircraft that might have been flying over it to cause this particular...
Categorically, I would say no. I would say no. First, it's only military aircraft that has capability of dropping bombs. We know the number of military Alpha jet flights we have in this country. And we have Ministry of Aviation. They should have come out and say, okay, at this point in time, we have a military helicopter or military plane flying over this place. And like he said, it's only Concorde that has supersonic kind of stand that can cause vibration, that can even destroy any kind of a building like that. In Nigeria, we don't have that kind of thing. And if you are saying one plane is hovering around that place, it happens at times when we are coming, if there's a movement of VIP, they may delay the aircraft for more than 30 minutes moving from one place to another. So it happens every day in Lagos State. It happens in Nigeria. So for somebody to come, and if you look at the size of that aircraft you are talking about, it's a small aircraft. With what I see in that kind of video, CCTV footage they are showing, it's a very small aircraft, which of course, if you look at the stand also, it's not going to have any effect. But let us leave that one aside. There are some things going on, which of course, the thing has taken it in a kind of international dimension now. When this thing happened, the National Emergency Management Service Agency that got there, they didn't allow them to perform their work on time. Because if they've allowed them to do what they are supposed to do, probably they are going to save more lives. And also, we started hearing that it's only 10 people. Not until when South Africa came out and said, okay, we have lost our 60-something citizen. And that was when the Nigerian government started coming out and defending and defending.
So you think there's a cover-up?
There's some problem somewhere, and it's not even with NEMA. It's even about our government, and that's what we want to say. Religion and government, they work hand in hand. And it's high time we have to deal with those issues, because the problem we have in Africa is not spiritual. They are man-made problems, and which, of course, the solution to those problems must be scientific, like they have been explaining here now. A structural engineer, a town planner, they came out now, gave us analysis of everything, how it's happened. But today we attribute spiritual things to all our problems every day. The OSHO and AGES, which of course we have in this country, they are people in government, because they are not doing the right thing they are supposed to do. We're supposed to have asked all these questions. Okay, who gave approval for this building? Now everybody is going there commiserating with him. I commiserate with him because he's the only fast miracle worker I have seen in this country. He's doing his miracle. When you go there, instead of telling you to go and be fasting for 10 days, we give you 50,000 and give you a bag of rice. That's miracle I've ever seen that he has been doing. Notwithstanding, If he has done anything wrong, like which of course we have been saying now, I will not be waiting for the report of this thing before I poo-poo some of this thing they are talking about, this terror attack or not terror attack of issue. It's high time that the government must do something about it. Now, South Africa has been able to come out, we are losing some, Nigeria has not been able to come out and say these are a number of Nigerians that died here. In today's point, we've seen that some Benanois and some other people, they are still missing there. We have not been able to account for all those things. And what these people did not allow the government officials to do what they are supposed to do at this point in time, which of course is a criminal offense. It's even enough to, it's enough of offense to arrest TB Joshua and let the man of God face the law of men, like I said. So it's important. We have to take this thing serious. Otherwise, they will not take, the international community will not take us serious. I agree. This man is giving a lot of money through his tourism, people coming to for pilgrimage or whatsoever. And that's the reason government must be interested, because those who are coming, if you go to Winners Chapel now, you've seen the auditorium, it's even in the Guinness Book of Record. You can see the structure, you can see everything. So for a church like that, bringing people are going to Jerusalem, people are going to Mecca. So the safety of those who are coming, Nigerians and international people who are coming, is very, very important. And that's the reason this thing must not go unpunished.
Okay, we'll be winding down this, but I would like to ask Engineer Fadayomi to tell us. Anthony said he didn't have up to 3 minutes
3 seconds.
3 seconds to
about
think.
3 seconds.
But let's move away from Synagogue now and talk about building collapse generally. What are those things? What are those signs that a building will have, whether the one that is under construction or the one that people are living in, that could point to the fact that this could come down anytime soon?
There are aspects that deal with collapses. You have the formwork. The formwork are those things the carpenters prepare, preparatory to putting the concrete in itself. If the formwork is not well designed, not just rule of thumb, you would have problems. And if it now comes to the entire thing having been constructed, you could have different types of collapses. One, if they are under reinforced, we're talking about reinforcement now, then you will have gradual signs. That's when you see signs. But if you have over reinforcement and inadequate bonding of the materials that make the concrete, you have a snap. And under that circumstance, you have sudden things happening the way we are saying they're happening now, without jumping the gun. If a 2-story building is being raised to 4 floors, there are processes that should be followed. Now we're talking about materials again, because if your materials are not what they should be to specification, then you have problems. And this is where we need to warn ourselves, because it's not enough to play to the gallery, talking about economic gains here and there. You know, I talked about greed. We have the issue of cement here and there now. People are saying you can only use a grade of cement for plastering, you can only use a grade of cement for blocks. That's misinformation. It's gross misinformation. Everyone should stick to their area of competence so that we don't have confusion. They've drawn the situation to such a stage now that you think, oh, a 42.5 cement is good, so this is good. Forgetting that cement alone does not make concrete. If you put 42.5 cement and you put a lot of water in it, it becomes nothing. We've been building with 32.5 from ages. So we should not paint one thing back.
Actually, that is a debate we'd love to have
in actual fact,
because we've had this conversation.
In actual fact, the institution, it's the theme of their AGM, which is coming up in October 23, because we identify, and this is part of the social responsibility. We owe it a duty to enlighten people. And just to answer your question, we're coming up with a short paper that will guide people as to the signs to watch out for.
Because some people say a building can also crack, and that would be a sign.
Yeah, you see, in Yoruba they say "on sokuta" or something like that. It's when you are having settlement problems and differential things, the materials used become overstressed in certain areas, and you have splints of all those materials breaking, chipping off, and they give a form of, but that's the one that gives warning. There are those that,
and that warning will be how long? Is it something that will happen over a day or weeks?
It depends on how terribly done the structure itself is.
But it's not a 3-second thing.
No, it's
bang,
not.
bang,
No,
bang.
that is not a 3-second.
Okay. Thank you very much. We have to wrap up now. Your final word. I've got quite a few people here, including some from UK and outside Nigeria, who are saying that they didn't know that there's a building collapse prevention group or council guild in Nigeria, and they're asking, what do you advise people to do in Lagos? They just
the work we have been doing is voluntary,
okay.
and it is made up of professionals from the construction industry, architects, town planners, quantity surveyors, structural engineers, civil engineers. It is voluntary, and we are supporting the work of government, because the government cannot do everything by itself. We need to assist in monitoring what is going on in the neighborhoods, and on the neighborhood base, we have the community development associations, the residents associations that we link with, and for each local government area, particularly in Lagos, we have a structure that's in place. We have the coordinator, we have the secretary, and we have the members. All of them are from the 7 different groups in the professional construction industry. Okay. So that's what we are doing, campaigning and public enlightenment. Because the excuse is always, we didn't know. You have an approval for a 2-story building and you raise it to 6 floors and you say, we are sorry, we didn't know. Because of that excuse, we didn't know, that's why we have a lot of public campaign and awareness. And the artisans come in here, the plumbers, the iron benders, the concrete mixers, we involve them in our programs. And the youth, not everybody can go to the university and read a degree course. We encourage the youth to go to the vocational areas. Carpentry, skills like iron bending, masons, farm work, plumbers, electricians, all those works that is very important also in building construction.
Okay.
We are advising and counseling the youth.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Dari, your final word, 1 sentence.
Well, this is a challenge to engineers in Nigeria, because it's not only about this recent one, it has been happening every day. And not until when they put their house in order to ensure that the right things are done, then we continue having this kind of problem we have in Nigeria.
So we'll put a full stop in 3 sentences. That's form 1. Thank you very much, Dari. We've been speaking with Dari Mulano, who's a public affairs analyst and commentator. Thank you very much. And also we've got in the studio who's been sharing thoughts and knowledge with us, Engineer Ore Fadayomi, Deputy National President, Nigerian Institution of Structural Engineers. Thank you very much. And also Africa's first female town planner and the chairman, Building Collapse Prevention Guild, Mrs. Catherine George. Thank you very much. So, Sunrise will take a break. When we come back, we'll have more conversation coming your way. Don't go away.